Now this country guitar style of playing uses something called a hammer-on technique, which is something that we're going to look at in a moment. And we're just going to be using two very basic open major guitar chords, the G chord and the C chord. Now, you probably wouldn't do this type of technique on heavy metal playing, but it works really well with pop music, with slow songs, and of course country music. So we're using the G major chord first of all here, and it doesn't really matter how you play it. I play it with my fourth finger, third finger and second finger, and we'll also be looking at how to do it with the C major chord as well, and that we'll do in a moment. So the first thing, play the G major chord. Just put the G major chord on, and this little pattern, this hammer-on pattern, is played over one bar, just one bar. And for the first beat of the bar, and we're playing it in 4/4 time, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the first beat, what you're going to do is a little bass note picking. And you're going to pick, so you've got the G chord down, and you're going to pick the low E string, this string here. And the note that you're actually picking is a G note. So that there is a G note, and that's where the name of this chord comes from. And so that's the first beat. And so you're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. It's just that. Now, it gets a little bit more complicated here, because we're going to be doing, for the second beat, we're going to play down, up. So it's pick, down, up. So 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and. So we're going to need a bit of control over our picking hand. In my case, it's the right hand. So I would recommend for this, keep your hand quite close to the guitar. Keep your hand, this part of the hand here, on this part of the guitar. Now, as you get better and better at playing, you'll be more relaxed and you'll be able to kind of release and play a bit more away from the guitar. And your guitar playing won't sound so, I hate to say it, but stiff. So that's beat 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's on the third beat of the bar where the hammer-on comes in. But what exactly is a hammer-on? Well, basically you start by picking a note as usual and then quickly press down or hammer on a finger onto a higher fret of the same string, and this creates the second note. So what we're going to do for the third beat, we're going to play the open A string. That's going to be the start of the hammer on for the third beat, and then we will hammer on the second fret of the A string. And it's basically, as you can see, this is the chord here. Now, in order to do this, so 1, 2, and I have to take off both these fingers, all right, to give me the ability to play that A string, that fifth string. Because if I keep down the third finger, my finger dampens this string here and doesn't let me do any kind of hammering on whatsoever. I mean, that's no good, is it? That's pretty rubbish. So I need to take off both fingers, and I keep them pretty close together. I don't just do this, that's not very good. But I keep them pretty close, and then that way I'm able to play that fifth string, that open A string, and then hammer on. So we've got this, and you're not playing again, you're only picking that first beat, that third beat, and then you hammer on. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and, all right, 1, 2 and you see I have to take off both my fingers here. I keep this one here, don't take that off. And that gives me that beautiful sound. So let's just go around this, the two of us together, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, let me start that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. And it's now just starting to all come together. Now for the last beat, the fourth beat, what I'm doing is I'm playing down, up. So 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. And a little bit quicker, we get this nice, really beautiful sound. And it's pretty amazing what you can do with just one basic major chord and one bar in 4/4. Amazing. Now we're going to play it over 2 bars though. So what we're going to do is the first bar is going to be the pattern and the second bar is we're just going to strum. So that kind of gives you a bit of time to breathe and allow the sound to ring out nicely. And I hope that guy who's doing his gardening isn't distracting us. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for that second bar, all I'm doing is just playing. It's just a simple down, up pattern. Nothing too exciting there. It's that first bar that does the business. Whoops. Now if you want to make it a touch more complicated, you can. And instead of playing on the 4th beat of the bar, the down, up strum, what you can do is just pick the 4th string, the open 4th string of the G chord. So what we have is that's what it is. And if I play that with the second bar of G, it sounds pretty nice. Now, a slightly more complicated thing that you can do is, once you've picked that D note on the 4th beat, you can do an up strum as well. So you can go, oops, I can't seem to do it now. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you've got a nice little up strum as well, really helping to fill out the sound. Now the C major will be exactly the same. Now another reason why I use this fretting for the G chord is because when we do the C major chord, all we're going to do is just lift up these 2 fingers, shift them over to the 5th and 4th strings, putting that first finger down on the 1st fret there, and then it's exactly the same. Now the root note, the bass note picking on the 1st beat is on the 5th string here, and that note there, that finger there is playing the root note, the bass note, which is C, where this chord gets its name from. and then everything else is just the same. So pick, strum, and then the hammer-on. And with this one though, I can keep this finger, the third finger, on the string. I don't need to take it off like I did with the G chord, which is very nice. But we can also try incorporating that little extra part where we pick. Now in this case it's going to be the G string. So pick, strum, hammer on, pick, and that gives us, that's the fourth beat of the bar. And then we can also do a little strum for the and part of beat 4. So pick. So this is the complete pattern that we could do. So pick, strum, hammer on, pick, up strum, pick, down, up, hammer on, pick, up strum. And so if we're playing 2 bars, the first bar is the pick, strum, hammer on part, and then the second bar, well, as I kind of did with the G chord, the first beat I'm gonna do a pick on the low string again. So in total it all sounds like this. So it's a really nice, it's a nice little pattern, that the pick, strumming, hammer on, and another pick. It's pretty beautiful. So let's do a little demo. We're going to play the C chord for 2 bars and the G chord for 2 bars, and we'll repeat that a couple of times. And remember, it's the first bar that's going to give you the technique, the pick, strum, hammer on, pick part. Of course, you know, this is the first time you might be doing this, so you can just keep it simpler and just do this. So rather than picking and strumming on the 4th beat of the bar, just strum like so. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's a little bit easier. But you know, as you get better at this little technique, then try the picking on the 4th beat as well. So we're going to play C, C, G, G, and repeat that a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, yeah, don't be frightened of messing up a little bit every now and then. I did. It happens. But you know, with time and practice, as always, things get easier, and you'll develop the necessary skills to make this a smooth type of playing. So I also find that this is a really nice way to begin a song. Now, sometimes slow songs, ballads start with just one chord. Maybe they start on a C and they hold that C chord for a few bars, or they start with a G and do the same. And you know, when that happens, you know, try incorporating a little bit of that picking technique. It's a nice thing, and it kind of breaks up the, not the monotony, but the routine of just going like that, because that can be, you know, can be a bit boring after a while. But if you add just add that little thing there. It just breaks it up a bit and kind of adds interest to the chord progression. So this is a great little country hammer-on technique. But you know, there are so many other cracking little techniques that you can use with your basic open, major and minor chords. And you know, there's no reason why, just because you're a beginner, you shouldn't try to use other little techniques to make your playing sound a bit more interesting. So check out this playlist here and see what else you can do with your basic open, major and minor chords. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy strumming.